Jen. If you're new here, hello. My cats are already fighting. Boys, come on. Can we all just get along? Be cohesive? Or coexist? Okay. As you can tell by the title in today's video, we are talking about the 2-week wait. If you're trying to conceive, ever tried to conceive, or just a woman in her childbearing age, you probably know what I'm talking about. So, I've got my phone, which has notes in it. I do use the Ovia app to track ovulation, and then when I have become pregnant, I have used the Ovia parenting app before. I like it. Not bad. So, I do have notes in the app. Before I jump into that, I'm going to give a little backstory. So, last year, 2022, we decided we were ready to try for our third baby. So, we've never had real problems in the past with that. So, we went ahead and we tried, and boom, right away got pregnant. It turned out to be a chemical pregnancy. If you don't know what that is, I would suggest that you look it up. But basically, what happened for me is I tested positive for, I think, 4 to 5 days. And it was a faint line the whole time. And then the line dropped off, showing negative results. That is very typical of a chemical pregnancy. And then, so basically, after you have a chemical pregnancy, you can go on and get pregnant the next cycle. That's totally fine. I tend to only get pregnant when I'm ovulating from my left ovary. Pretty much ever since I was a teenager, I've had issues with my right ovary. They technically classify them as functional cysts, but there's a few different kinds of functional cysts. And what can happen is every month when you ovulate, the egg that is maturing within your ovary is within a cyst that's in your ovary. Think of a balloon inside of a balloon, or a balloon inside of a balloon inside of a balloon. Okay, there's the egg, there's the cyst, and it's in your ovary. So, with functional cysts, what happens is once the egg matures and your body is signaled to release the egg, usually that cyst that was holding the egg in your ovary will usually just kind of dissipate and just dissolve back into your ovarian tissue. Or what could happen is you release the egg, but the cyst stays and continues to fill with fluid. And I originally thought that's the kind of functional cyst that I would get with ovulation. Well, once we had the chemical pregnancy, we did try the next month when I would have been ovulating from my right ovary. And I know that I was because I get pain with ovulation. And probably I think after ovulation, once my body is supposed to have released that egg and the cyst continues to fill with fluid, it's painful. It's really uncomfortable. You know it's there. There's no mistaking that pain. I've had it since I was like 15 years old. So I know what it is. So I know when I ovulate on my right side every other month, I can feel it. And so we did try that next cycle, didn't get pregnant. And I am one of those very fortunate people that when we try to get pregnant, it happens the first time. It just does, if I'm ovulating on my left ovary. So what happened is I didn't get pregnant, and I thought, oh, that's weird. Maybe I'm not even releasing the egg from my right ovary. Sure enough, we tried the next cycle when I was ovulating on my left side again. Boom, got pregnant. So I assume that when I'm ovulating on my right side, I think my functional cyst, what happens is that my body doesn't actually release the egg and the cyst continues to fill with fluid, gets painful, and then once ovulation passes and the period comes, it shrinks down a little bit. Then I'll ovulate on the left side. I don't really have problems there. But then by the time I ovulate again on that right side, it just does the same thing because I have the same pain. So I may be releasing an egg sometimes, but it would appear as though I'm not. So right there, if we just assume that I'm not releasing the egg on my right ovary, that cuts my chances in half of conceiving in 1 year. That means 6 months out of the year I can't because I'm ovulating on the right side. So I really only have every other month as a chance. And so after the chemical, like I said, we tried the next cycle, didn't get pregnant. The cycle after that, ovulated on my right side, got pregnant. Unfortunately, that pregnancy ended in a miscarriage at 8 weeks. I did not see it coming. I did not feel any different until the day before I started bleeding. And really, the only symptom or lack thereof was that I wasn't feeling as hungry. When I'm in that first trimester of pregnancy, I have the hunger is like, I get hungry and I get hungry very fast, and it gets to the point where it's like, as soon as I get hungry, I almost feel nauseous and sick because I'm so hungry. And it's like I could eat all day, but I still feel that way every single time I get hungry when I'm pregnant in that first trimester. And so there was one day that I realized, like halfway through the day, I was like, oh, you know what? I haven't been feeling like that. But at 8 weeks, I thought maybe it's just getting better. I'm almost at the end of the first trimester. That would make sense. And then the next day, I had back pain, like lower back pain. But again, I have scoliosis. That's typical for me. My tailbone hurts every day, regardless of what I do or don't do. And so that wasn't a big like indicator for me that something was wrong. But then I started spotting. And then the next day it was very obvious what was happening. And that was really rough. I didn't talk about it with a lot of people. I have yet to share it. We're coming up on almost a year now. It's been about a year now since my chemical. And I'm coming up on a year of having gotten pregnant with that second pregnancy that ended in a miscarriage. Those are my first miscarriages. Like I've never, up until then, I hadn't had any that I know of. Both of my pregnancy with my girls were very easy, just very easy pregnancies. Honestly, it was easy for my body. I didn't have complications. No real complications at birth. Things went pretty well. It was a little dicey with my first because the cord was around her neck. She came out very purple and blue, not crying, don't think she was breathing. I didn't get skin on skin right away. They took her right over to the table to like assess her. And I didn't hear a cry for like a couple minutes. They were already stitching me up before I heard a cry. But my second came out real quick. No real issues there. And so that, yeah, it just was a real shock. And it really, I don't want to say that I felt like I was invincible or that like it couldn't happen to me, because you always know in the back of your head that can and it could happen to you. But I just really didn't see that coming, and that really, really hit me hard. It's been a very long, like, emotional recovery. I still cry about it sometimes. Yeah, it's just a lot to take on. And unfortunately, what happens then is like, I feel like after a miscarriage, once you do try again and you do get pregnant again, I feel like you're almost robbed of just feeling that immediate like elation and happiness and joy and just, you know, almost like euphoric feeling, like you're just so thrilled that you're pregnant again and it's happening and this is going to be such a great thing and all of that. And it just, having a miscarriage kind of robs you of that the next time around, you know. And that's at least for me. I'm sure there's plenty of other women out there that it doesn't, and there's plenty of other women out there like me that it does. So that being said, it is now February 2023. I am currently 13, 14. Let me double check. I believe I'm 14 days past ovulation, and I have been testing since 8 days past ovulation. I typically use the first response early result tests I've had great success with those, so that's what I use. And then I also use the pre-mom easy at home ovulation tests, and I get the pack that comes with the pregnancy tests also. It's just really convenient and easy. They're priced great. They ship really quickly. It's just nice, and I've always had good results with those. Um, Thus far, they've worked as they should, so I kind of stick to that. Um, so I've been testing since 8 days past ovulation. Totally just preference. Totally up, up to you what you want to do. But I am someone that, with all of my pregnancies, I've been able to get an accurate result at 9, 10, or 11 days past ovulation. So I went ahead and started at 8. On the 8th, it was negative. By the morning of the 9th, I had a faint line, and it's progressively gotten darker, so that's a good sign. I'm going to continue to test to rule out having another chemical. And I'm going to get my blood work done to see where my levels are at, see if they're basically on par with where they should be. So that's coming up. But what I want to do is talk about the symptoms that personally I have experienced in that 2-week wait. I am very sensitive to pregnancy, which I feel like is pretty amazing. Not everybody is this sensitive. There's a lot of women that don't feel anything in that 2-week wait, and they're just like itching to take a test because they just don't know. I know. I've always known. Every single time I've gotten pregnant, literally within days. Once I start implanting, I know. There's just something in me that feels different, and I know it. And I get what I call like tingling in my uterus. I know where my uterus is. I know the anatomy. And I know that specific feeling. I had it with both of my girls. I had it with my previous pregnancy that unfortunately I lost, and I'm having it this time around. Now, the first real sign is the increased need to pee. That I get really early. I get that at like 3-4 days after the baby dance, okay? Usually I start feeling implantation around 6 to 8 DPO is typically when I feel it. DPO is days past ovulation. So I did write notes because I know that like what I feel during that first week and into that second week, it's not very typical. Like I said, a lot of women don't experience symptoms as early as I do, or they don't really feel the things that I do. So I feel like I should share it, because if you are feeling these things, you're not crazy. I'll tell you right now, you're not crazy. I'm in my 5th pregnancy, starting my 5th pregnancy technically. I know by now that what I've felt each time is the same thing around the same times. It's how my body functions, it's how pregnancy goes for me. I know I'm not crazy. What I'm feeling is what I'm feeling, and it's real. So there's that. So let's go in here. All right, so the first day I started noticing symptoms, let's see. Okay, so literally, we did the baby dance January 27th. By the next day, I was already feeling kind of like bloated and gassy, which is not super typical for me. Like, I'll get bloated sometimes after a meal, but just being like gassy or bloated all day is not usual. The 29th, already felt the increased need to pee and more gassy. Sorry if that's gross. This video is going to be TMI, but 2 days after doing the baby dance, already had an increased need to pee. Then 3 DPO, backaches, frequent urination, and gas is what I marked. And then I also marked that I was unusually tired by the end of the day. I was very tired. I remember this for a couple days in a row. So it started just 3 days after ovulation. I was already feeling like fatigue, very fatigued. All right. 4 days past ovulation, backaches, frequent urination, gas, and again, unusually tired by the end of the day. 5 days past ovulation, backaches. All right, camera battery already died. Not sure where I left off. 5 days past ovulation, backaches, frequent urination, gas and bloating. Oh, and I was already feeling possible implantation cramping. 9 a.m., I had some light cramping. 2 p.m., more light cramping. Unusually tired in the afternoon, and oh, okay. And then this is one of the weird symptoms that I get. So if you get this too, you're not crazy. We're not crazy, man. It happens. I said unusually tired in the afternoon, and at night I started twitching. My eye, it's typically my right eye. Sometimes it's both, or like sometimes it fluctuates. It'll be this side or the right one, but lately, this pregnancy thus far, it's only been the right side. It'll randomly, like the eyelid will just start twitching. I don't feel stressed out. I have nothing stressing me out really. Like it just starts twitching. That is a symptom I usually only get when pregnant. I have hardly ever gotten it when not pregnant. It's usually pregnant or like immediately postpartum. I'd say probably in that first like 6 months it might happen. But I haven't had a twitchy eye in like over a year. And now I'm pregnant and I have it again. It's so strange. You would like, that's just one of those symptoms. Like, why is there a connection between pregnancy and having a twitchy eyelid? I don't know, but I know that that's one of my symptoms. It happens. Might sound crazy, but trust me. So then 6 days past ovulation, fatigue / exhaustion, gas and bloating, low motivation, brain fog. It was like just an extreme day of walking into a room and being like, why did I walk in here? Or like putting the crackers in the fridge and the cheese in the cabinet. Like it just was a day of like just stupid little things that I was like, why did I just do that? Why? Like it was like I was just in autopilot but doing things wrong. It just was weird. It was definitely like a brain fog. I also stated that I had an increase in cervical mucus, and it was more like white and creamy, school glue style. Vivid dreams last night is what I said. So the night of being 5 days past ovulation into 6 days past ovulation, I had vivid dreams. So then we're at 7 days past ovulation, tender breasts, which is not typical for me. Even with PMS, my boobs don't get sore. They used to when I was like younger. They don't anymore. So that's a pregnancy symptom for me. I didn't mark anything else that day. So hard to say if anything else was happening, or I just didn't get to marking it. 8 days past ovulation, headaches, tender breasts. So I wrote that I woke up with a headache, I had light implantation cramping, and here's a trick I learned last year. I took an ovulation test again because I wouldn't have been able to test for pregnancy yet really and get like a positive result if it even was positive. But you can test with the ovulation tests, not the digital ones, specifically the easy at home ovulation tests. They will show a high ovulation result if you're pregnant. Plenty of people don't believe it. I've had people come at me and be like, that's not even true. You can't prove that, blah, blah, blah. Listen, it's worked for 3 pregnancies for me. Well, no, 2. Because I don't think I did it with the chemical pregnancy. I think that's when I learned about it. But I did it with my last pregnancy and I did it with this pregnancy, and it worked both times. When I was pregnant before, I continued testing with the ovulation tests, and they stayed a consistent high reading. And once I was able to test for pregnancy, it was positive. So I'm someone that like my peak comes really quickly and then drops off really quickly. So I'll test like one day and I'll have like a sort of high reading, and then the next day it's high, and then the day after that it's already down to like low, and then it stays low, obviously. So if I'm testing after I ovulated and it's staying a pretty like high, nice dark line, it's staying like a high reading, then yeah, I probably got pregnant. So don't knock it till you try it, okay? I even I'll show the pictures of my tests after too, because I do have like a line progression going. Um, okay, 9 days past ovulation, that's when I got my positive pregnancy test. I will show you a picture of that also. After that, I started marking any symptoms. So since then, I've just had like a little bit of cramping, and really like the only real symptom other than like the implantation cramping that I've had is I'm waking up hungry, and I'm like I'm filming this late at night right now. Everybody else is in bed. I didn't get a chance to film it today like I wanted, so I'm filming it pretty late. I'm so hungry right now, you guys. I'm so hungry. I'm not normally hungry at night. I usually fast from like 7 p.m. until 12 the next day. And that's just because naturally, like, I'm not usually hungry. I'm not that hungry. Like in the morning, I have my tea and I have my coffee, and I don't feel like hungry. So I don't eat until usually like lunchtime. And so I'm waking up hungry. And at nighttime, I'm hungry. Yeah. So, and that's like the biggest symptom for me. It has been in all of my pregnancies. It's like you're starving, but nothing sounds good. Yeah, I'm there. Chocolate always sounds good. Don't get me wrong. Chocolate always sounds good. But yeah, mostly I'm there. So that's really the only other symptom that I've had. Increased like urination. I'm still having that. But I'm also like extremely thirsty all the time. So pause, actually. Do you have some water? Drink it. Let's stay hydrated together. I think that's it. If there's anything else, like maybe I'll do another video or something, but really that's it. For the 2-week wait, that's it. So maybe not the same symptoms that like you'll see when you do a Google search, or if you watch other videos of women that talk about like the 2-week wait and then the symptoms that they have. Mine might be really different, but it just goes to show you that like we're all so different, and we all might feel different things even when we're going through the same thing, you know? And so if you are feeling these things, don't feel like you're crazy just because you don't know anybody else that is feeling these things. You're not crazy. If you're feeling them, you're feeling them. And if you aren't feeling these things, but you're feeling other things, you're not crazy. If you're feeling them, you're feeling them. Trust your body, trust yourself. You know, that's that. So, another thing I want to share with you guys though, because I know the 2-week wait is excruciatingly painful for some of us. I usually get through it pretty well, but it's because I know that I can get an accurate result by like 10 days past ovulation, so I don't have to wait the whole 14. So it's easier for me to get through it. But I want to share some tips of things that I do to get through that wait, because I know it can be so hard. So, first of all, you probably heard this a million times. Get out of the house. Go do something. Go do stuff. Just go for a walk, go for a hike, we went to the trampoline park and out to dinner. Like, we just went and did fun stuff with our kids. Run errands, go visit a friend, go visit family, go do something. Go to the library and pick out some books that you'd like to read so that you can come home and dive into some books. I like to puzzle, so I've been puzzling. I haven't put out a video in a while. I have one that's taking a lifetime and a half to export right now. But I also film and edit, so I have those things that can help keep me busy. I don't have family around, and I have very few friends around, so I don't have like a, bubbly, bouncing, super active social life. I'm an introvert, totally through and through. I can extrovert. I can do it. When I'm out, I can put it on, but I come home and I'm like, "Oh, it's so nice to just be home," you know? And as a stay-at-home mom with two kids, I crave that alone time that I get right now at night when everybody's sleeping and I get to just be alone with my thoughts or watch what I want to watch on TV or read a book or edit without a bunch of noise in the background or have a chocolatey snack without somebody wanting a bite of it. I get to just do what I want. Paint my nails if I want. I started painting my nails recently again. I found an old nail polish that I really loved, and so I looked up the brand and then saw some other colors on their website that I would like. And so Jeremy was asking me, "What do you want for Valentine's Day?" And I said, "Get me this damn nail polish." So he got me some nail polish, which is cool. So I've painted my nails a couple times. Um, yeah, I just, I set up like my planner. I set up my February layout and I love it. I shared it on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me there, follow me over there. I'll link it below, or it is already linked below. I don't share a whole lot. I just started using Instagram. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. But I did share my February like monthly layout on there, and it is my favorite so far. I've only been using a paper planner for like 6 months now. Um, yeah, since like last summer, fall. And so I've just been having a lot of fun playing around with it, playing with the stickers, decorating it, and doing all the things. Um, and so that's something I like to be creative. So things like that help keep me busy, help keep my mind off of it. I don't feel the need to test because I'm not thinking about it. But then also I'm feeling the symptoms, so it's like I already know. I just have to wait till I can confirm what I already know in my body, in my head. But get out of the house. Do some hobbies. If you like reading, read. If you like puzzles, puzzle. It's awesome. If you like doing like brain games, get one of those activity books and just sit there and do as much of it as you want. Paint your nails. Go get like a pedicure. Right? Is that safe to do when you're pregnant? I don't get pedicures, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's safe. Go do that. Go get your hair done. Go, I don't know, just go do something. If you like drawing, draw. If you like painting, paint. Those adult coloring books, you could get some of those and you could be coloring. Maybe you could like buy a game and play a game. This sounds ridiculous, but we bought Spyro for the Xbox back at Christmas time. I loved Spyro as a kid. I think I probably sucked at it because even as an adult, some of these levels are hard, okay? But it's fun to play. The kids like watching us play. They try and play. It's fun. Um, what else have I been doing? Honestly, I enjoy watching TV. I'm just someone that likes TV. If you don't, that's totally fine. But I like TV. If you want to, listen to podcasts, listen to books, listen, like, call your friends and talk. Go for a nice long walk, go for a drive, go to a museum, go take yourself out to eat, girl. Take yourself out to eat. Go enjoy something. Treat yourself to something, you know? Also, cleaning. I have plenty of cleaning to get done. I got kids running around trying to color on stuff, trying to do stuff, trying to spill pouch in this, trying to paint on that, you know what I mean? Trying to eat crackers on the couch when I said, no, 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 you need to sit at one of the tables. Your table, the big table, doesn't matter, but sit at a table. Don't you dare sit on that couch with those crackers and cheese. You hear me? You hear me? So, there's plenty of cleaning to do in my life. Declutter. Go ahead and declutter. If you haven't decluttered stuff lately, do it. Do some deep cleaning. Do whatever comes to your mind that you think you might enjoy or that might help you pass the time. Because it's going to work. There's only so many hours in a day that you got to keep yourself busy. You know what I mean? So there's that. Oh, that's nice. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I'm going to go do something for myself, something that I like to do. I think I might start a new book. I haven't read a book in a while and I miss it, and it's a nice quiet night to do it. So I think I might do that. But I'm going to go ahead and end this here, you guys. So I hope that you got some value from this, or if anything, you're sitting there realizing, I'm not crazy, she is. I'm just kidding. But seriously, I hope that you got something from this. Or if not, you just enjoyed hanging out with me. I don't know. Either way, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And since I am newly pregnant, I'm going to see how this pregnancy goes. Really hoping it goes for the best. Just doing my best to stay positive, take care of myself, and be ready for whatever happens. But if this pregnancy carries to term, I will obviously be sharing that journey with you guys. In moderation, I'm not going to share, I don't share my kids, so I probably won't be sharing the new baby either and showing and plastering them up on the camera and showing their face or anything. But I will be sharing my pregnancy journey, things that I'm going through as a mom, things that other moms can relate to, or young women who want to become moms or are becoming moms, thinking of becoming moms, or just want mom friends, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I'll be sharing all aspects of it in regards to me, and that's that. So obviously I will be sharing the journey with you guys, and I appreciate you for being here and keeping me in your thoughts if you're doing that. I know I am not the only one that has ever experienced pregnancy loss. Unfortunately, there is a multitude of us that have experienced this, and I'm reminded every day. And just know that if that's something that you have gone through or are going through, have recently gone through, I'm sorry. There's nothing you did to deserve this. There's nothing that you did to make this happen. It is not your fault. Sometimes this just happens. Personally, I'm not religious, so I'm not going to tell you that it wasn't in God's plan, or it wasn't the right time and God knew it and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to feed you that. I don't believe it. So I'm not going to cram that down your throat. Unfortunately, though, sometimes things like this just happen, and it's out of our control. There's nothing we can do. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. I know you can feel alone, and it feels like things may never get better. And it can be really, really hard. I know after my miscarriage, it was like within a week or two, one of the YouTubers that I watch was announcing her 5th pregnancy. And then I had like two or three people on my Facebook that I know announce pregnancies. And then just even January of this year, before I was pregnant again, my cousin and two of my cousins announced that they were pregnant. Another YouTuber that I watch just announced a pregnancy as well. It's been a lot. It's been, like 7 or 8 pregnancies that I've had to witness happening to other people that I care about, whether I know them in real life or not. I care about them and I love them and I wish them well, but there's also that feeling of like, well, why not me? And so if you're feeling that too, just know you're not alone, and that's not selfish. I think a lot of us feel that way. You feel happy for this person, but it's almost immediately extinguished by feelings of like, I don't even want to say jealousy, because it's not that you want like everything they have, but you do wish, like, it's almost like this, why am I not worthy enough? Why am I not good enough? Why couldn't that have happened for me? Why did I experience loss? And so if you feel that way, you're not alone. I have absolutely felt that way. Trust me. And I'm just trying to stay positive that this pregnancy will have a better outcome, because we want more kids. So, yeah. But just know that you're never alone, whatever you're going through. Even if no one in your immediate life knows what you're going through or has dealt with the same thing or understands how you're feeling, please, please, please know that you're not alone. Whether you want to get online and look it up or reach out to somebody or something, just know that you're not alone. Talk to somebody, do something, because I don't want you to feel that way. It's pretty terrible. But right now my cats are like tussling. I don't know why Snowball thinks he can like box up to Edgar, because Edgar is way older, and here's the thing, Mr. Snow. Edgar will kick your butt. Okay? And I'm probably gonna let him, because you've been being a little bit of a turd. You're super sweet, but you're also kind of a turd. A little bit. Being a little bit of a turd to Bubba. He's just up there relaxing. Okay? He's relaxing in his relaxing chair. Why don't you relax in yours? So, thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
And so real quick, I just wanted to show you guys what my line progression looks like. You can see I started testing at 8 days past ovulation, and that one was clearly negative. I didn't see anything. But by the next morning, I had a faint line, which continued to get darker. I messed up on the days past ovulation there, because you can see that on February 8th, I wrote 13 DPO, and then the next day I started with the dip tests, and I wrote February 9th, 13 DPO. So that's wrong. Those last 2 days are wrong, but all of the first response tests are correct, and we will be having a baby this year. Yay!